Let's begin with the mistrial in Charleston. An attorney for the family of Walter Scott, the man shot and killed by the police officer Michael Slager, just now called it a missed opportunity for justice. Let's begin with CNN's Brian Todd, who's covered this from the very beginning. What's the latest, Brian?
Well, the latest is a statement from the lead prosecutor in this case, Ninth Circuit Court Solicitor Scarlett Wilson, issuing a statement just moments ago saying, "We will try Michael Slager again." And that is good news for the family of Walter Scott after such disappointing news just moments ago when we learned from the judge that there is a mistrial in this case. You know, we were shocked on Friday, Wolf, when the jury was deadlocked 11-1, with 11, we were told, being in favor of convicting Officer Michael Slager. We're shocked tonight that they could not convince that one juror, that one holdout juror, who had handed a note to the judge on Friday saying he could not in good conscience convict Michael Slager. We're shocked tonight that that one juror has still apparently held out, and that has caused the judge to declare a mistrial. Of all the cases that we have covered in the past 2 years of police-involved deaths, from Ferguson to Eric Garner to this case, that evidence that you're seeing on the screen there was really the most compelling for a conviction, Wolf. Michael Slager clearly shooting Walter Scott in the back several times, 18 feet away from him. Our colleague Jeffrey Toobin on Friday said it was a slam dunk. It really should have been a slam dunk. Now they've got to retry him again in state court as well as federal court. That's two trials coming up, and the prosecutor in this case, Scarlett Wilson, just now saying we will try Michael Slager again. That community, that family is going to have to go through this all over again.
All right, and Nick Valencia, you're there in Charleston for us. You were in the courtroom. Explain what's happening on the ground right now.
Well, those in the community who support the Walter Scott family are disappointed. They're saying this and categorizing this as a missed opportunity for justice, a missed opportunity to heal the deep wounds within the black community in this country as a result of a series of police shootings across the country over the last 2 years. I was speaking to an elder here in Charleston who says that he was surprised given that cell phone video shot by Fayadin Santana, which shows Walter Scott running away from Officer Michael Slager and being gunned down, shot multiple times in the back. He said to him that was enough evidence to prove that Michael Slager was guilty of first-degree murder. Obviously, the jurors in this case did not think so. The day started with a series of questions from the jurors asking about what is imminent danger, what is self-defense, is it different for an officer versus an ordinary civilian. We had anticipated this verdict as of Friday when we heard about that lone juror holdout who said that morally he could not convict the officer in this first-degree murder case. Today, however, we learned that there was a majority of the jurors that were still undecided. As Brian Todd reported, however, the solicitor in this case is expected to retry it. There's also still federal charges against Michael Slager. That case is expected to happen sometime next year.
So, Laura, walk us through a little bit of the legal process, where we go forward right now, mistrial declared.
Now remember, double jeopardy hasn't attached when it comes to a mistrial. That's if somebody is found guilty or innocent. Here we're in a legal limbo. But the real question that prosecutors have to face right now is, listen, I have a federal trial coming up sometime next year. This was a 55-witness, 5-week trial. Will that come before or after that? And remember, federal trials are a little bit harder to prove whether or not the officer acted under the color of law to abuse his standing as a police officer. A little bit of a trickier case. What this mistrial informs the prosecutor and the defense attorney going forward is how to structure the voir dire, how to choose a jury to figure out whether or not a moral obligation or stance will allow the juror to believe an officer's testimony or a former officer more than an everyday civilian.
All right, everybody stand by. We're going to continue to follow the breaking news. We'll get more reaction.